There are a shit ton of songs in the Legend of Zelda series, and today we are going to rank my top 30. Hi everyone, welcome to Princess of Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today, we're going to be ranking some music. This is going to be redirected though, because music, especially for like Nintendo properties, can be pretty iffy about putting onto YouTube. Like, I do not want to deal with all the copyright shit that could come from that. So, we are going to redirect the actual lists, like we do with pretty much all of our lists on here. But let's talk about this. So, The Legend of Zelda has a storied history, and because of that, it has a lot of music. The games have been going since the 80s, and there's quite a lot of games. So, the music, you would think, also is quite plentiful. And yes, there is a lot. And a lot of these games have a shit ton of tracks in them on their own. A lot of the games are just chock full of music. Breath of the Wild has a lot, for example. But even older ones, like Ocarina of Time, has quite a lot of music in it. Not just the typical few that you think of all the time. But what are my favorites? So this list doesn't really have any qualifiers. I'm only counting mainline Zelda games here, though. We're not going to count any spin-offs like the Hyrule Warriors games, even though technically Age of Calamity is part of the canon timeline, even if it branches off from Breath of the Wild. We're only counting the mainline games. The likes of Wind Waker, Ocarina of Time, Link to the Past, that kind of stuff. The mainline series. And my list is not going to be the same as yours. Just take that into account right away. My tastes in music are not going to necessarily be the same as yours because music is subjective. It is an inherently subjective form of art, like pretty much every form of art, and is based entirely on personal viewpoint. My tastes in music are going to be different than yours. My order is going to be different than yours. But I would love to hear what some of your favorite tracks from Legend of Zelda are. Also, as a note, multiple games have different variations of the same song. There are different games, like with different variations of, for example, the main Legend of Zelda theme. They're done on different instruments, have different scales of epicness to them and stuff. Do I count different iterations as different songs? The answer is yes. I'm not going to hold that secret for long here. If it is very clearly performed differently and has its own identity, I am counting it separate because one of those versions may be much more interesting musically to me than another. Even if another is good, something that the other game, let's say game A's version of the song is good, but game B's version does something so musically interesting to me that it elevates it to such a higher place. Or maybe it does something that I really don't like in terms of its musicality that actually brings it down. That's very possible. And I can tell you already, there are many songs in this series that do appear over the course of different games and are done differently, and I have different feelings about them. So you'll definitely see that on this list. And there's not really any other qualification. As long as it's from a mainline Zelda game, is a song, it doesn't even matter how long the song is or anything. As long as it's a mainline Zelda game, it's a song, it's pretty much applicable towards the list. And again, it's all subjective, so this is all my opinion, my feelings on it. But this is definitely only the first of a couple Legend of Zelda based lists we're going to have here. Because Tears of the Kingdom is only a few weeks away. And I am super hyped for that. So, in order to prepare, we're making a couple Legend of Zelda lists. So, yeah, this is the first in that. And again, it's top 30. So, it's going to be a big list, but I'm not going to have too much of the song for each song, especially since, again, some of them are pretty short. We're just going to basically be giving a little example of each one. If you want to hear the full track, you can look it up. They're on YouTube. Like, all of them are on YouTube. um, but yeah, so that is the plan. That is how this is going to go. And once again, the link to the actual list is in the description below. Just to be safe with copyright and everything. Um, and yeah, like I said, I hope you enjoy, and I would love to hear your thoughts. So tell me in the comments below, what did you think of my list? What did you think of my order? And of course, even above that, what are your favorites? What are some of your favorite songs? Which on my list do you think could have been higher or should have been lower? What songs do you think are missing from my list? Um, Let me know down in the comments below. And for now, I'm Connie, and I hope you enjoy.